Tucker, second-year man out of Syracuse. The Commanders, the Buccaneers, spotting the NFL's Final Eight. Off we go from Tampa. It'll be deep, it'll be a touchback. The Bucs get it at the 30, and here's their offense. That Sterling Shepard intro for his daughters, right?
It gets better all the time.
It does. Good offensive line for Tampa here. They've started 10 of the last 11. This offense, top 5 in several categories, including points and yards this year. Begins from the 30 with Baker rolling out and firing. Why not? Right away to Mike Evans to the 41-yard line. That's Mike Evans, that's Marshawn Lattimore. They know each other really well. We might see a lot of that tonight.
We might see a lot of that indeed. Probably one of the most bitter individual rivalries that we've ever seen in the NFL. And those two, before this game is over, you are going to see some fireworks.
Their history goes back to Lattimore's days with New Orleans in the division. They played twice a year. It got intense, it got fierce. There were fines and ejections. We'll watch them tonight. Inside run, Bucky Irving is met by Bobby Wagner. One of those veterans that Chris talked about. Great character, good player, and part of the reason for this great turnaround with Washington.
You always want to try to help on your mate before you come down here and try to get Bobby Wagner. Unfortunately, you do that and you end up a step slow, and that happens time after time. And the reason is, it's not because at this point in his career, Bobby is some incredible specimen. The guy is just that smart.
Second and 10, and Baker Mayfield stepping up, taking off, slides for about a couple of yards. What did you see there, pal?
I mean, we were just talking about Bobby Wagner, and one of the things that's going to be really interesting is Bucky Irving is not the biggest guy in the world in pass protection, but you will see Wagner right here, and watch this collision. So Wagner and these linebackers from Washington are very good pass rushers, and he blew through them so fast, he ran right past Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield scrambled for 1. It's 3rd and 9. Rashad White is now the back. Commanders bring 3, and the throw is Evans again. Mike Evans, first down to the 35-yard line. 23 in front of number 23, Lattimore.
Very simple little deep over route there. You can see Lattimore, and he's not up in his face and jamming because of that bunch formation. You would worry about getting picked off on the crossing routes and all that. So right now playing off Evans, and Evans is taking advantage of that. And remember, Lattimore is out there worried about that hamstring a little bit too.
Has kept him out most of his time in Washington. This is Irving trying to get outside and get about 3 yards. Cleveland Farrell on the stop. Baker Mayfield orchestrating. Best career season in terms of stats. 2nd in the league in touchdown passes. Tied for 3rd. Completion percentage and a lot of yards as well. Also a lot of picks. Tied for the most in the league. Former #1 overall pick of the Browns. He's found a home here with his 4th NFL team. Offensive coordinator calling the plays into Mayfield, Liam Cohen. From the 32, it's off the hands of Jalen McMillan, a rookie receiver who has been outstanding of late, and especially has stepped up after Chris Godwin was lost right around the midway point of the year.
Playoffs are always just a little different if you're a rookie, and you can tell they're going right back after Lattimore, but it has been McMillan who has successfully become that #2 receiver. He made 2 of the biggest plays of the season in the division clinching game last week against the Saints.
They made them both on the same drive. Field goal from here is 50 yards. 3rd and 7, 4 Commanders coming. Mayfield into traffic and incomplete. He tried to find McMillan, but 3 were there, including Mikey Sainristil, the rookie 2nd-round pick out of Michigan. Field goal attempt coming.
I don't know exactly what tipped off Sainristil, but everybody ended up going, I believe that's him right here, going back to the inside, and he just stayed on that wheel route, and if he had not, that likely would have been a touchdown. Just great instincts on the part of Mikey Sainristil, and we met him. That doesn't surprise us.
Not at all. McLaughlin's had a very good year. Didn't have the best of warm-ups. from 50 yards. For the game's first points, the flag down, the kick is good. It was 4th down and 7. If it's offside, it becomes 4th and 2. And the first playoff decision of the night belongs to Todd Bowles. And Craig Rolstad, our referee, is waiting for that choice. Going to take the 3? I think they will. No?
Offside. Defense, number 39. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a successful field goal. Timeout.
3-0. Bucks on top. 8 plays, 38 yards in the opening drive. Their punter, Jack Browning, kicks. This will be returned. It's Rick McCaffrey for the Commanders. Through the traffic, he'll get out to the 33-yard line, where the Washington offense will take over. Improvement for this offense, one of the big reasons, Cliff Kingsbury, former Arizona head coach, taking over as the OC here. Great match with Jaden Daniels, the number 2 overall pick. It goes from the 33, and Daniels in trouble, able to get rid of it, and threw it over the head of Jamison Crowder as he was being pressured inside. Elijah Cansey doing a nice job against Daniels. As we said, outstanding season. Number 2 overall out of LSU. Record-setting rookie season, completion percentage and rushing yards. Lauded for his maturity, his leadership, and he played his best at the end of close games. Really where you saw the entire skill set of Daniels, who started his career in college at Arizona State. Ryan Robinson in the back, he's got it going left into the waiting arms of Levante David. Gain of 3, third and long 6, short 7 coming up for Washington.
And you'll know when this game really gets going is when eventually we see Washington in that spread out empty set, and basically you have your quarterback Jaden Daniels, who becomes your running game. A little bit like Lamar Jackson, that style of play. And that is when he has been dominant this year.
Austin Eckler is in the game. So too is Jeremy McNichols. A couple of running backs in for Washington on 3rd and 6. Pressure comes from Tampa. Daniels putting it towards Terry McLaurin. Up top, Terry brings it in. McLaurin the grab at the 33-yard line. To their big play man who holds it in.
I tell you, do you know how hard that catch is? With Jamel Dean hanging on you, but he won the route right at the line of scrimmage. There was a quick release. Not many receivers are willing to take that inside release. He did, because he is the best contested catch receiver in the National Football League, and he got him there.
Marked with the 28. Terry McCauley, our 3-time Super Bowl ref, watching with us back in the studio, says good catch. And a gain of 35 from McLaurin. The 28, fake to McNichols. Daniels out of 1 tackle by Cansey, but he's brought down on the back end of the play by the veteran Mike Edwards. And it'll be no gain on 1st down.
Boy, great patience on that one by Elijah Cansey. He is right out here. And you're going to see the read option begin the other way. And so he's the guy being optioned. Really, when Jaden Daniels saw him sitting there, he should have handed that ball off. Just a misread that time. A little excitement, I guess, out of Daniels.
Washington, as they do often, going no huddle. Daniels escaping again, directing traffic, getting blocks and getting out to the 20-yard line. He's in a little bit of trouble, but such a smooth runner. He glides for about 7 to set up 3rd and short.
Well, and that was the fear really out of this Tampa defense, is that there are times they basically say, we don't care if you blitz, we don't even care if you miss a block. Our guy's going to make their guys miss out there. And just like Lamar, you'll see it throughout the course of the night.
Hey, you're with me.
Jamison Crowder, question mark coming into this game with a hamstring, worked out pregame. He's in the lineup. One of the 3 at the bottom. 3rd and 2, spread out. And Daniels taken off. David chased them and got him. Levante David's speed, the match for Daniels. 4th and 2 from the 20.
There is no way that just happened, did it? Levante David, we'll just call him in his mid-30s now, is going to be in a foot race with one of the fastest players in the NFL and gets the job done.
34 years old. Washington very proficient on 4th down and going for it here. Austin Eckler flanked out. Again, Daniels throws at the feet of Eckler and incomplete. And Tampa takes over on down. We've got 2 options for you tonight. So the Bucs defense comes up with a stop. Tampa takes over at the 20-yard line. It's to Bucky Irving, the rookie out of Oregon, who's won the first pick, I should say, in terms of running backs for this team. Good run there. Gain of 5 against the Commanders defense. Easily the worst defense in the NFL last year. Much better this year. But Irving runs through again and gets the first down. Bucky Irving was not the starter until last week. Rachaad White was the guy who started most of the way. But Irving has earned the spot. He's been so good as this season has gone on.
So we watched the first game of the year between these two teams. And Rachaad White was the starter, and he played most of the snaps. In the last game of the season, last week against New Orleans, it was Bucky Irving who has come so far since then that Rachaad White got no touches in that game. So give you some idea of what kind of player he's turned into this year.
They're both in there now. Mayfield's going to throw to the rookie McMillan. Got it. Jalen out of bounds at the 48, gain of 15, first down.
The one thing that we've seen out of McMillan is that he is a very good man-to-man route runner. So when teams are trying to double team on Mike Evans on the other side, we see his ability to go one-on-one with a single defender and get open, and that has really jump-started this offense.
See the man in motion, Chris 88, Cade Otton, Tampa, glad to have him back. Their good tight end missed the last 3 games with a knee injury. On first down, it's Irving one more time, brought down, twisted down around the ankles that time by Jeremy Chin up from his safety spot.
And you're going to see that particular play quite a bit. That is the counter play, and it's almost like the Buccaneers completely changed their offense. The first 4 games of the year, they ran that counter play 4 times. Since then, that play has averaged 9 yards per play. When you see offensive linemen and tight ends pulling out in front of Bucky Irving, that's what we're talking about.
A lot of Commanders up at the line, inside give, and Irving's tripped up as he's trying to get through. Gain of just a couple of yards to be third down. They come back to the point you just made. Why have they made that switch as the season has gone on?
Well, what's really interesting about the whole thing is that Liam Cohen, their offensive coordinator, doesn't come from that background. Really, none of the coaches come from a background of doing all those counters and those kinds of plays. It just happened to fit this offensive line and that back. And so they stuck with it, and now they have about 6 or 7 different versions of it, and they keep getting better at it as the season goes along.
It's good coaching. Do what your team does well. 3rd and 8, Mayfield looking to climb the pocket. Dorrance Armstrong says no, it's not a sack. It'll be a run officially of 1.5 yards as Mayfield goes down at the 49, but the Buccaneers are going to punt it away.
That's back-to-back plays now by Dorrance Armstrong, and he's one of those names that you may not know that well, but when you put on some tape and you watch this team play, he makes a ton of plays. He really is. He leads them with 46 pressures on the season, 8 hits, 5 sacks. Very consistent player for them.
The punter for Tampa, Jack Browning, didn't play at all in the NFL preseason. He's a rookie out of San Diego State. This is only his 6th NFL game. Very few punts. Dropped a snap last week. So very cautious when Tampa is punting. Kicks it away. Jamison Crowder back deep. Well handled here. And Crowder will make the fair catch at the 8-yard line. Dallas defensive coordinator brought a lot of the things he learned about the first time around to this time. And it has been a big difference. Daniels begins from the 8. Terry McLaurin somehow got out of that to gain 2 yards. Will look to be going nowhere.
You know, Mike, usually I'm not real big on the mushy stuff of football. You know, I'm not a huge believer in all that stuff. But with Dan, I kind of am. Like, he built a community inside that locker room. He went out and sought leaders over physical skills, and they built friendships. I mean, they hang around for an hour playing cards after everything's finished with football.
From the 10-yard line, Daniels swing it out to Robinson. Ryan Robinson hit hard, only 2 yards. Levante David has been everywhere in this opening quarter, combining with the rookie Tyke Smith for the tackle.
I tell you, they are coming after Jaden Daniels, and with good reason. His numbers drop pretty significantly when he's under pressure, and nobody has more different ways to blitz and rush the quarterback than this football team certainly does, with Todd Bowles calling the signals.
Austin Eckler in 36. Here they come, 3 and 3 and dropping. Trying to confuse Daniels, who is chased and throws across the middle, and it's caught for the first down at the 21-yard line. Usually a dangerous play, but gets it to Ertz for the first down.
So Daniels could feel the 3 pressure here and a single pressure over here. So he uses his athleticism to get outside of that pressure, and now he has time to think and see and look, and generally when that happens, he makes things like that happen.
Nice to have a man who caught a game winner in a Super Bowl in your first playoff game as a quarterback, and Zach Ertz had the game winner in Super Bowl 52. Outside the 20-yard line, final 90 seconds, and McLaurin is free to the 39. So a couple of big hits for the man from Ohio State who's been desperate for a franchise quarterback. He's been good with a whole bunch of guys.
That was easy. Here's the RPO, and if that linebacker doesn't drop underneath this slant, just thank you very much. It's fun to watch these offenses, and I know that the NFL is changing. I mean, it really is. We're seeing so much more of the college style of offense come into vogue here, and maybe there's a good reason why that Cliff Kingsbury is having so much success.
Great point. Final minute here of this opening quarter. Inside give. Robinson runs about 5 against his Tampa defense. Hard to score on down the stretch, especially in the second halves of games. 2nd and 6. Here's Austin Eckler. Got away from Tyke Smith. Got the first down. Into Bucs territory at the 45 as this first quarter comes to an end. And it was missing down the stretch. Missed 4 games with a concussion. But Austin Eckler's addition to this Washington team. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, Terry McCauley. Second quarter begins. Jaden Daniels just using the outlet effectively. And Brian Robinson Jr. for a first down inside the 35-yard line for the 3rd-year man out of Alabama.
It is really just all about the tempo, the pace, the quick throws, the slowing down of this pass rush with the play calling now for Washington.
Inside give. Robinson. Levante David there again, along with KJ Britt to the 28-yard line. But that's 4 yards on first down for Washington.
Well, and the other thing that it does is, well, now they're going to substitute in. But the more pace that you go, the more times that Vita Vea leaves the field. Every time he gets an opportunity to get off, and he's in good shape, I don't want to insult the guy, but there is one of the premier players in the National Football League, and if you go at pace, hopefully he has to rest more.
Game record, made his 2nd Pro Bowl this year inside. On 2nd down, Daniels with time, will slant underneath, and Robinson tagged quick, just a gain of a couple. That is Shaq Barrett, the former Buck who came out of retirement to come back and chasing a ring here with Tampa this year.
Yeah, exciting for him. And this is a defense that you will see. They've struggled down the middle of the field with some of their safety play. But now they've got Antoine Winfield back, and so they think it will be a strength. Can they get the pressure off the edge, and can Winfield fix some of the issues they've had in the middle of the field?
Barrett, who's chasing the 3rd ring, stays out there on 3rd down. Daniels with blocking, gets tagged on the edge by McCollum. No first down. Zion McCollum with the shot on the edge. Let's see what they'll do on 4th and short again.
Yeah, that's called a memory right there. Did he? Yeah, you know, the interesting thing was he hit him that hard and really was sort of pulling up on the hit and sent him flying.
Bang, bang with a foot on the white and then the hit. 4th and 1. Washington eschews the opportunity for a short game time field goal again, but takes a timeout here to get settled. And Chris, it's interesting. Dan Quinn, regular season.
It doesn't hurt when you have Jaden Daniels as your quarterback either. He's like 6 for 6 on read options, so give him the ball.
They go spread on 4th and 1. And the read option inside Eckler. He's tackled forward. The spot's tough because all the bodies in there. Where the down judge is coming down the line, it's a first down. Danny Short, the down judge at the top of the screen, came down, saw it, marked it. First down, Washington.
What a great play. Motion in here. That was an empty set. There was nobody to do the read option off of. And so what they did, bring in Eckler in motion inside. Everybody was going to jump on Daniels, and they pick it up.
This long drive continues for the Commanders inside the 22. Eckler and McNichols both in the game again. Zion takeoff. Daniels away from Vita Vea and gets down around the 15-yard line. You bring up Lamar Jackson's name sometimes. That's where he looks like Lamar. He knows how to get away from that hit and smoothly get down.
Yeah, I bring it up too much, probably.
Oh, come on,
I do
bring it
think
on.
he plays like him. So now they're going back to their two-back set. This is something they did early on. Then Austin Eckler got hurt, and they got away from some of these core plays because they just weren't comfortable with anybody else playing Eckler's role. This is going to be a big player in this game, Austin Eckler, what he's able to do.
Second and 3. And a quick shot at for McLaurin is incomplete. Jamel Dean with the coverage. So what does the two-back thing do with Daniels at quarterback?
Well, I think, A, it keeps the read option alive on every single play. B, he's one of the best coming out of the backfield as a receiver, but it leaves the power back and Brian Robinson back there as well, so you can't just sit softly back and try and play the finesse game, because then you get him coming down hard inside.
And Washington has taken a second timeout. The first one was taken by Tampa Bay, so each team's taken one. Oh, battered and bloodied. Welcome to the playoffs, Jaden Daniels. 3rd and 3. Daniels throwing inside. It's caught by Olamide Zaccheaus for the first down inside the 10. 1st and goal for Washington in front of Tyke Smith.
Really an interesting little combination route there. It looked like it was going to be a slant outside, but it was a double combo that confused the secondary.
On the ball again. Read inside for Robinson. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Yaya Diaby, who won Defensive Player of the Week last week with the tackle.
Yaya Diaby is just a hammer on the outside. It was interesting as we were talking to Todd Bowles about changes. He said defenses change about every 2.5 years. So he went from being big with the tackles to big with the edges, and it's helped his defense.
I feel like I'm watching the Capitals. It's like a line change every snap. 3 in, 3 out for Washington, and they're never huddling. Eckler with Daniels in phase, no pitch, and Daniels is swallowed up by McCollum. Loss of a couple, back to the 10. Well played, as Anthony Nelson was part of the defense.
So many times people want to run this college option. Here comes the pitch man around here. The problem is these guys are really fast, right? Guys in the National Football League are way faster than guys in college trying to run that play down. And I just don't see it work very often.
Here comes the 17th play of a drive that's about 9 minutes long. Luke McCaffrey in motion. Daniels retreats, throw it end zone, touchdown, De'Ami Brown. We do have a flag down, backed by the protection for the quarterback. Greg Rolstad talking with the umpire, Roy Ellison.
There was a relatively low hit on Daniels as well.
And they're coming over to talk to Dan Quinn, so it looks like it might be on Tampa.
Watch Diaby sort of fall into the knee there of Jaden Daniels.
And the touchdown will stand.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 0. That penalty will be enforced on the try for point. The touchdown is good.
So enforced on the try.
Diaby was really stumbling around the edge anyway, and he probably just sort of lost his footing as he was trying to get to Jaden Daniels and led to the penalty.
So enforced on the try means you either get to go for 2 from the 1, or the extra point becomes 7.5 yards shorter, and that's the option Washington's going to take here.
2 from the 1. Sounds good. They got it done that.
Zane Gonzalez, one of the many kickers to come through the Commanders team this year. Longest for Washington this year. From a yard deep. White takes a knee. Baker gives you a lot. He gives you a lot of ups. He also gives you a chance to grab a ball or two out there.
But we've seen a lot of exciting quarterbacks over the years that play exactly like that.
There he goes with the Bucs in their 3rd drive from the 30, trying to keep it alive. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage, and no gain there.
The other part of him is that, I don't know how to say that, he's a disturber, right? Is that fair?
That was well done.
Yeah,
nice. Good editing.
He's a disturber and fought the fight.
The best.
Looked like a gunslinger walking away from it.
Shot downfield here from Mike Evans, and the coverage coming over to break it up with Jeremy Chin, the safety. We do have a flag down, back by the line play. Got it on the hands of Evans, but Chin came over from the safety spot to erase it. And here's Rolstad with the call.
Personal foul, illegal chop block, offense, number 69 and number 7. That's a 15-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
You get 2 numbers because it requires 2 for this penalty.
Yeah, you cannot go low and then stay high with the other block on the offensive line, which is what happens here. 1 low, 1 high, and that is to protect the players with good reason.
A major penalty. It's 15, takes it back to the 15-yard line. It's 2nd and about a quarter of the field here for Tampa as we get to halfway or thereabouts in the 2nd quarter, and just the 3rd possession. That long Washington possession changed the tone here a little bit. Mayfield, nothing to go, flag down. Irving's got it out of the backfield for not much. Chin and Benjamin St. Just. Safety in the corner on the tackle. Let's see if they're going to push him back or decline this and make it 3rd and long.
Holding, offense, number 78. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 3rd down. 78's
Tristan Wirfs, the All-Pro. Usually doesn't make too many mistakes. Could have been Bredesen next to him, 68. In any case, it's declined. It's 3rd and long.
There's Bredesen inside. And a little backwards pull maybe. I think that probably was the foul.
Gain of just 2, so declined, and it's 3rd and 22. 4 receivers to the left for Mayfield. Running that way, throwing that way, just to get something out of it with Rashad White. And the Buccaneers get some penalty yardage back, not much more. And the Washington defense comes up with a stop.
It's interesting with Baker, right? And we were telling the story. So here's the end of that fight, and
right.
Baker's right in the middle of it, and he stirred up the whole pot. And then there's Baker walking away, not even paying attention. Everybody else still in the fight. And then Cool Hand Luke was walking away from the pile.
Got to know which buttons to push and when to take your finger off the button, right? Jamison Crowder's back. Jack Browning's kicking. In between the numbers, 55-yard kick for the 14. Crowder makes the first two men miss, and the third and the fourth. And Jamison Crowder, who has long been a really good punt returner in the league, that was 17 terrific yards there. Maybe. Washington off the 17-play drive, and the stop has it at their own 30, and Daniels passes complete sideline to McLaurin for 8. Melissa Stark, we saw a little cut on Daniels before.
We sure did, on his right cheek, and the athletic training staff was waiting for him after the touchdown drive on the sideline. They let him give all his high fives and celebrate. Then they sat him down, cleaned it out, put sterile glue on it to close it up, and he's ready to go.
Oh, come on.
What?
We wouldn't even show that if it was anybody but a quarterback. But there wouldn't be a cut man on the sideline working on him. It would just be, you look great.
Comes with the job, right? No gain inside.
Good job.
That time for Austin Eckler. It'll bring up third down here. Important for this Tampa defense. Try to slow down Washington after that last drive when Cliff Kingsbury, a little wrinkle, a little adjustment to Tampa's initial thought, and Washington had effective movement.
You know what's interesting is that they're running this hurry-up pace, but they're substituting. And then you have to give Tampa a chance. So it's not really a hurry-up pace. You're just sort of playing at the line of scrimmage.
It's like they're holding the chess piece over the board, like, I'm going to move this when I'm ready.
Yeah.
Eckler and McNichols, the two backs are in again. 3rd and 3, 5 are coming. Daniels throws complete. Eckler for the first down. So they keep the chains moving with Eckler involved, as you said.
Watch this delayed blitz. Step back and try and surprise them, because the blocking adjust when they see that linebacker drop backwards. Nice adjustment back, though, by this Washington O-line.
This time to the line. They go quick. Daniels pulls it, turns it up inside. He'll get to the 46-yard line. Pickup of about 5, and a hand to pick up Mike Edwards.
I mean, they had that play completely stuffed, right? I mean, Jaden took the ball and took 2 steps forward, and there were 2 guys waiting for him, and somehow he still made a gain out of it.
Daniels has run 6 times for 21 yards. He's 11 of 14 passing here in his playoff debut, trying to do the rare thing. Rookie quarterback win a road playoff game. Got space here. Going to take it, take the first down. Get out of bounds before the Tyke Smith hit. First down to the Bucs side of midfield, inside of 5 until halftime.
Yeah, really good scheme there. They had the slot receiver come back, and really there was no acknowledgement. You'll see right there, John Bates came back inside. There was no real feel that that was going to happen, because it was a motion and a bootleg away from him. Just really well designed.
10th first down of the first half. Daniels again running inside. They'll try on Shoyinka. KJ Britt stop him, but again, it's a gain to the 42-yard line. And number 5 is in complete control of this game right now.
I told you about the counter play. So this is a play action off of it. And watch all the defenders sort of split the Red Sea there because of the fact that they were all shifting over to play that counter play. So again, really nice play design there and creating space and opportunities for Jaden Daniels to run.
Almost twice as many plays run by Washington. Some corner pressure here. And it helps erase McNichols. And virtually no gain off 3rd down coming up.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a defense, they blitz everybody. They're number 1 blitzing defensive backs 171 times. They're number 3 blitzing linebackers 212 times. So at some point, you're going to see almost everybody on that defense blitzing to try and affect Jaden Daniels.
You saw Levante David, 54, calling the signals inside. 13th year man trying to figure out where the rookie's going. 3rd and 4. Daniels spins away from Diaby. Who brings him down? Yaya Diaby able to bring him down. There is a flag down in the secondary on the far side of the field.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 27. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That is Zion McCollum.
That is a rough penalty. So you go from a sack to a hold and a first down. Take a look. You can see sort of both hands wrapped around, and then he fell down. And it's going to take away a sack by Yaya Diaby, and he is becoming a presence on the outside. Remember, Brandon Coleman, their left tackle, is a rookie. He's given up 9 sacks this year. So that is going to be the matchup to watch.
Washington flag free in this first half. Inside give Robinson. Dragged down by David and Greg Gaines, who is a college teammate of Vita Vea's at Washington. But another good first down game. Washington's getting 4 yards, 5 yards on first down. And Chris, it's setting them up to go anywhere they want. And that's why they're controlling the game right now.
Yeah, they really are. And when Vita Vea goes out of the game, that's when they're running inside. And you just saw it right there.
Look at the stats there. Double time of possession. And the plays are there as well. 32 Washington, 16 Tampa. 2nd and 6. Here comes the pressure. Daniels gets rid of it. Incomplete. As the blitz from the corner, and Mike Edwards was coming after the rookie. Chris Braswell, rookie at Alabama, coming inside as well.
Yeah, this is one of many pressures that they have, but generally you're going to see anytime they bring somebody out of the secondary, as you saw on that one, the entire defensive line will run one way and the pressure will come opposite that. We were talking to Jaden Daniels about it. He said, I know, I know, I see it.
Right at the edge of field goal range, 51 from here. 3rd and 6. Daniels going to take a shot. Down deep from McLaurin, who went up. Oh, he broke that. Oh, it's incomplete. He got his hands on it after he and McCollum were fighting for it. Chris talked about what a great contested catch guy he is. But it's in. Wind blowing a little bit into Zane Gonzalez, the 4th kicker used in season by Washington this year. From 52, Gonzalez nails it and gives Washington a 10-3 lead. Longest field goal he has made as a Commander. Tampa's got it, down 7 when we come back in 30 seconds. Buccaneers get the ball here, minute 52 to go until halftime. Washington has controlled this second quarter, Chris, and has shown exactly what we've seen from this Commanders team. Very comfortable in every situation they've been throughout this year, and they're on top 10-3.
So far, the first half, the MVP, if you want to say it that way, has been Jaden Daniels. He's controlled the game. Yeah. He's controlled it with his arm. He's controlled it with his legs. And the more space he has, the better he is.
Rashad White, less carries being used on special teams. Got a kick return here from the 3. White up the numbers, hit around the 25, and not much further. That's where Tampa will take over. So the story here in the NFC, earlier this evening, it was Philadelphia beating Green Bay. The Lions have the week off as the lowest remaining seed. The Vikings-Rams game being played in Glendale, Arizona. If Washington wins tonight, they'll be the lowest remaining seed. Thus, they would go to Detroit. If Tampa Bay wins, they would go to Philadelphia as the 2-3 matchup. So we'll have definition on that. And we'll have the matchups and the times, the windows for next Saturday and Sunday coming up before we go off the air at the end of the night. So stay with us throughout. White on the carry, brought down from behind. It is Payne coming over to make the stop and limit the gain, and Payne is in some. He'll come out.
That was the #1 thing that this Tampa offense was worried about. How do you control these two inside players for the Commanders? Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen.
2nd and 9, Mayfield had to get rid of it, and it is incomplete. Contacted as he was trying to get rid of it. So Washington really turning it on here. Dante Fowler Jr. with the pressure.
That was a coverage sack, and it really was. Here's Payne over on the sideline, just one of their premier players.
So I'm holding his hand and finger and working back on that with the athletic training staff, but you see Fowler urging some Commanders fans on. It is a good turnout by supporters of Washington.
Big 3rd down play.
3rd and 9, Commanders bring 4. Mayfield gonna climb it, run it, flag is down. Mayfield through 2 tackles with anger to the 45-yard line. A big run of 18. Let's check the flag. It's over in front of the Washington bench area.
The disturber is back.
Offside. Defense. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is a 1st down.
So there it is again. Almost exactly what happened in the game a week ago. He took off on a run and barreled his way through, spun around, the crowd goes crazy, and now all of a sudden the Bucs are moving.
18 for Baker from the 45. Mayfield now throws. Of course he's going to complete it. Mike Evans going to duck out of bounds for the 1st down. Gain of 11 to the Washington 44.
Mike Evans just so good. Teams are so afraid of him going down the field deep. And when he stops on that little turnaround, I'm not sure he needs another route. He basically can run a go route, run a stop route, and physically it is just so tough to play against that guy. There are collisions down the field that are not called fouls that sometimes knock defensive backs backwards off their feet.
44. Mayfield again in the middle. 1st down, Cade Otton to the 33. 3 consecutive snaps. 3 1st downs for Tampa Bay. On the move with 50 seconds on the turning clock.
Just remember where it all started.
The run by Mayfield.
AKA.
Disturber. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. Got Evans to the 11-yard line. Lattimore wanted pass interference. The Bucs are in the red zone. 2 timeouts in 24 seconds and the clock running here. They'll limit the number of snaps they'll get at the back end. And now they take a timeout with 10 wasted seconds. The ball is at the 12. It's 1st down Tampa. 15 seconds are wasted on that clock management situation for the Buccaneers. They've got 1 timeout, 17 seconds, and 1st and 10 at the Washington 12.
One-on-one with Evans and Lattimore out there.
The top of the screen, White in motion, Mayfield looking that way, throwing to Evans. A lot of contact on the flag against Lattimore. And the battle is building.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. That pass interference occurred in the end zone, so the ball is placed on the 1-yard line, automatic 1st down.
Mike Evans has 11 touchdowns this year against bump and run coverage, and you see why. There's fighting, there's wrestling, there's all of that, and the big-bodied Evans just more often than not wins those battles. And you could see the arms wrapped around there by Lattimore, and been a rough 1st half so far for him in this matchup.
1 flag, 4 catches for Evans. 1st and goal from the 1. Looking to go back to it. To Evans for the touchdown. Fire it up. They fire the cannons, and the Bucs a kick from a tie. The headline matchup, advantage Mike Evans so far. And Lattimore getting a little perturbed along the way. Chase McLaughlin ties the game at 10 with 10 seconds till halftime.
You know what decides playoff football game? Plays like this. Quan Martin is going to drop this way underneath this coverage. And Baker Mayfield is going to throw it within an inch of the top of his helmet as he goes across the field. So not only do you have to beat Lattimore on the outside, you got to throw it right over the helmet of Quan Martin on the inside, and they do it all. What a great drive that was.
So you know what you love at this time of the game is it's a playoff game, and your best guy is going to take over. And the Mayfield run on third down that you nailed started it. But what happened the back end of the drive? Mike Evans, I'm going right at Lattimore like we have for years, and I'm going to take care of it. And we got a new ball game.
There was an opinion within the Commanders building that maybe we won't play one-on-one with Lattimore, that we will double team Mike Evans and let Lattimore go over to the other side and play McMillan. We were down on the field, Melissa and I, before the game, and I said something about that to Lattimore, and he said, no way, he's mine. We're going one-on-one all night tonight. He may have vetoed some of the coach's plans.
Caught at the goal line, so it will be brought out by McCaffrey. Luke is hit hard as he gets past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Ryan Miller the tackle. And with 5 seconds left, likely to be just a knee for Washington, who will get the ball to start the second half.
Don't you love this time of year?
Really good.
It's really something. I mean, to see the level and to see the growth of these two teams. We watched them on opening day. They're like two completely different football teams now.
And that Lattimore-Evans battle, sometimes you build those things up and they don't pay off. Well, you saw on that drive, it's going to be popcorn stuff come the second half. Well, let's start. Super Bowl 55 in here. Jack Browning to kick it off. And a line drive. McCaffrey to a knee. They get it at the 30. And a moment ago, here's Melissa with Todd Bowles.
Todd, your offense found its rhythm at the end of the first half. What started working?
Well, we stopped shooting ourselves in the foot with penalties. You know, if we get off to a good start on first down, we end up doing okay. We got to continue that in the second half.
And on defense, how do you limit Jaden Daniels?
Got to get him in long third and longer yardage. Got to win first down. He keeps getting out of the pocket to his left, to our left, his left. I mean, our left, his right, and we got to cut that down.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.
Todd Bowles has talked about how strategy has to change and how you build a defense because of quarterbacks like Daniels. See the adjustments at halftime. Gets to eliminate Zacchaeus. Nice move on Winfield, and Zacchaeus gets 8 to the 38-yard line on first down.
So interesting. Both these quarterbacks were the leading rushers for their teams in the first half, and both had exactly 108 yards passing. So it has been a quarterback duel here so far in the first half.
2nd and 2. The rookie gives it to the third-year man, Robinson. 1, and that's it. Pull of the leg by Tyke Smith. Logan Hall had him up high, and it's going to be third and less than a yard. See what Cliff Kingsbury calls here.
Well, this is when Washington has just made a huge difference in this game. Because they've been converting these 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts, they've been maintaining control of the ball.
And Marcus Mariota comes in the game. Daniels is the tailback in the eye, and now the man in motion. And Mariota's going to keep it and get the first down. Mariota played the second half against Dallas last week and really gave you a good feeling about another former Heisman winner in that Washington quarterback room.
How about that? We have 3 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks in this game. You talk about eye candy. They used everything they had. Jaden Daniels dotted the eye, goes in motion, comes across, and they just run a sneak. It's kind of interesting, though, to get Marcus Mariota back in the game this week after how well he played in that final game last week.
The game-winning touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin. First down run for Robinson here for a couple of yards to the right. You talked about Dan Quinn and building a football team, and he told us he was really happy that he could share positive video of Marcus Mariota, who's been great for Jaden Daniels in his development this year.
Because it was in our game, the Atlanta game, where Mariota went out there and said, get up, man, get your breath. Go win the football game for us. Use your skills. Go win the game. And the very next week, he got to use his skills to go win a game.
Two backs, Eckler and Robinson. Daniels gets away from the pressure, chased by Vita Vea, throwing on the run to De'Ami Brown, who's got a touchdown tonight, and a big run for a first down. Look at De'Ami Brown get the extra yards inside the 30.
They were going to show both linebackers potentially blitzing. They both drop out. And so what does Daniels do with that? All right, fine, you're rushing forward. There's going to be a gap somewhere. Looks like he's going to run, then takes advantage as all those linebackers draw to him. It's just beautifully played. I mean, sometimes you just sort of forget that Jaden Daniels is a rookie.
Really? I was just going to say the same thing.
Really?
He's a rookie making all these poised plays on the road in a playoff game. Pressure in his face there. It's out again. It's Brown again. Into the red zone. Inside the 10. First and goal at the 3. De'Ami Brown for 24 more. After a gain of 30 the snap before.
It is De'Ami Brown who has gotten hot for this football team. 14 receptions now in the last 4 games. Now remember, he only had 16 in the first 12. So he is truly becoming that other weapon. You want to take a little pressure off Terry McLaurin, that's how you do it.
That shot was great. You could just see how confusing it is. Everybody's going left, couple of guys right. Terrific play calling by Cliff Kingsbury, keeping the Bucs off balance.
All they need is Derrick Henry.
Got Brian Robinson back there now. He's going to take it. He's going to lose a yard inside. Greg Gaines trying to stand up for this Tampa defense.
Greg Gaines has been tremendous so far in this game. We talk about Vita Vea, and he's such a force inside. But every once in a while, you get in a playoff game, and somebody unexpected pops up. So far in this one, Greg Gaines has been really good.
And he's been in him. Started the Super Bowl for the Rams. Unbalance on the line. Second and goal. Ertz in motion. Daniels keeping. And we'll just throw it away. Had nobody coming clean with him. Third and goal.
We haven't seen a lot of Austin Eckler since some of those early plays that he was making. And one of the things I liked about this game was when you had McLaurin and you had Eckler and you had Zach Ertz. You had 3 real veteran guys for big moments in the game just like this. There he is back in there.
They're all out there here. McLaurin's alone, bottom of the screen. Against Jamel Dean. Daniels throwing that way. And it's deflected and incomplete. Dean was able to get there. As he returns to the lineup, missed last week with a knee injury. Key break up there, field goal coming.
That was close to being ugly and potentially a touchdown for Dean. You could see that was Terry McLaurin sort of with that arm over swipe, but Dean was having none of it and almost got there first.
And is not allowed a TD in coverage this year. You see the difference in these tight red zone situations. Tampa scored with Evans. Washington couldn't there with McLaurin. Gonzalez, a short field goal. Zane knocks it through. 4.5-minute opening drive. 10 plays, fines, words. And now it's a battle in the playoffs between these two. Return from Rashad White from 3 deep. Up the numbers, taken down hard at the 27-yard line. So here's the story of the first.
Do you take a double team and put it over on Evans and single up Lattimore on the other side of the field? So far, the answer is nope.
Starting against each other here. First down, swing here in the screen. White looking for space, hand up by the face mask by Armstrong is going to cost him. Dorrance Armstrong up by the face mask, and 3 flags are down. Let's make sure that's the only infraction on this play.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 92. It's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Easy call on the grab and twist. Second one on Washington tonight. 3 on Tampa so far.
And let's give Washington some credit here. This is the closest of the visiting teams that we've seen so far in these playoffs, and they come to fight. They really do. It's not perfect. This roster isn't where it's going to be. But Dan Quinn really has this whole organization going.
Lattimore comes with Evans to the bottom of the screen. Both backs in for Tampa. Inside, give Bucky Irving quiet half in the first half, gain of 5. Melissa has some updates from the locker room.
Yes, we saw Commanders defensive tackle Daron Payne come off the field at the end of the first half. He was in obvious pain. He was grimacing as the athletic training staff removed his left glove, went into the medical tent, then he left the field. Team telling us he's questionable with a finger injury. He remains in the locker room.
And he's a guy who has played most every game since being drafted in the first round. And big to not have him inside next to his longtime teammate, Jonathan Allen. Teammates 9 of the last 10 years with Washington and with the Crimson Tide. 2nd and 5 becomes 2nd and 10 as the Bucks were moving.
False start. Offense, number 88. It's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Just to get back a little bit on this whole Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Evans matchup. Remember that Lattimore made the Pro Bowl 4 of his first 5 years. Defensive Rookie of the Year, 11th overall pick. This is one of the really tremendous talents playing corner. And they're both arguably the most physical player at their particular position in the NFL.
Inside give here. Speaking of physical, Bucky Irving put his shoulder pad down on that run. It's a gain of about 5 or 6.
And every time I find myself sort of looking at the field, and, you know, you can pick and choose what you want to watch. You know, your job is to watch the ball. I can watch anything.
I've been watching them.
So I find myself just watching them almost on every play because, you know, eventually something's happening.
There they go. Third and 4. Mayfield throwing inside to Evans. Beat Lattimore. First down to the 32-yard line. Gain of 19.
So they've got this little mini stack over here on that side. And so you got to be careful not to get picked here, which really sets up these slants. And the problem is that Evans is like a tank running across the field. And you think with an ordinary receiver, you can bump him, you can hit him, you can jam him, and throw him off his route. Well, you can't do that to a tank.
He is 6'5", 230. Irving left with space. Bucky Irving into Lattimore. Inside the 15-yard line. Cade Otton with a big block and a gain of 19.
Anytime you can get a crack block here, it's game on, because then that allows those offensive linemen to get downfield to that next level, and Cade Otton able to make that key block. But this is when you start to see Bucky Irving start to heat up a little bit.
Too many men in the huddle for the Buccaneers offense.
12 men in the huddle. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Trey Palmer came running out to the field. Very often when you see players subbing, you'll see the quarterback step back just to make sure. And Mayfield had his back turned as Palmer headed out to that huddle. McMillan didn't come out, the rookie receiver, and it's a 5-yard penalty. So 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line for Tampa. Opening drive for the Buccaneers here in the 3rd. Give Irving inside. Bucky Irving now starting to pick it up in this 2nd half. The 4th-round pick out of Oregon, started at Minnesota. 2 years at Oregon. What a big impact he has made. The best rookie running back this year.
Oh, when the big nasties get nasty over here. Watch this double team. Tristan Wirfs on their all-pro team, and you see why. How about that? All-pro is a right tackle. You have to move him over to left tackle, and all he did was make all-pro again.
Nobody's done that before since they've split sides with the all-pro team. Pitch. Irving. Wall of blockers. Bucky Irving. 1st and goal, Tampa Bay. Inside the 3. And they're going to just run to the line and keep going. They are feeling the momentum here. Evans at the top, first and goal. Irving inside, and Washington was ready for it. Loss of a couple as Johnny Newton, the rookie out of Illinois, gets in there to make the play.
And Johnny Newton in replacing Jonathan Allen, and that was a big moment for him. He is the quicker guy. He is a little smaller than Payne and Allen, but he has that kind of quickness. Remember watching him in college, some of the things he could do, very difficult to block inside.
From the area, Clearwater Central Catholic High School, playing his first playoff game. Second and goal, Mayfield, play pass, looking, back in the end zone. McMillan out of bounds, incomplete. With a penalty marker down as well. In the end zone, flag down. On Washington, looks to be a hold.
See, they have begun to flip.
Prior to the pass, holding. Defense, number 1. That was half the distance to goal, automatic, first down.
It's on Rashad White, and Vita Vea has come in the game on offense for Tampa.
Yeah, they have flipped here. We have Igbenogany right there, but you're going to have some help on the outside. Oh, there was the grab. Mike Evans was on the outside, and he faced the double team that time, so they have begun to make that switch, at least down here in the goal line.
Vea's 13 career snaps, 3 on offense this year. Play pass, Mayfield looking end zone, trapped and in trouble, and he'll go down at the 5-yard line. Yes, Vita Vea was in that pass route as well and was covered by Frankie Louvu.
Okay, well, I called Mike Evans a tank. I don't know what I call Vita Vea. Here's the largest receiver in the history of the National Football League, and Louvu's going, what am I going to do? And he just stayed right on him, but they clearly were trying to throw the football to him. He is an amazing athlete. He drops a lot in coverage on the defensive side, and he's saying, I'd have had it. Just throw it up. I'd have gotten it.
6'4", 347. Credit Louvu for being aware. Second and goal after the loss of 2. The back is Irving. Mayfield to him, to the end zone. Tampa Bay takes the lead.
Watch Jalen McMillan come in here and point to the guy that he is going to pick and make bounce around. He knew exactly who that player was. It was Frankie Louvu. So give credit to the rookie McMillan. Pointed out, knew what was happening, got the job done.
Chase McLaughlin. Job with the hold. Extra point is there. Philadelphia. You see how that'll impact the other matchups here in the NFC. Line drive by Browning, and McCaffrey takes a knee. Washington ball at their own 30-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown.
First of all, they made the switch now. Mike Evans is getting the double team over on this side of the field. So now they know it's single coverage over here on Lattimore. So because it's single coverage, they know it's going to be man on the back as well. So they're going to come down with the wide receiver, draw the coverage with him, and pick down the field. It was beautifully done, beautifully understood. As soon as they made that switch, the single man coverage was going to stay with Lattimore, and they took advantage.
Drive begins from the 30. Daniels throwing inside, nearly intercepted, trying to get it to Yummy. Grab flag from the back as McCollum was there on the coverage. And Zion stunned for the moment here.
Holding. Defense, number 35. That's a 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Penalties on Jamel Dean.
There are just some really fun individual matchups going on in this game. See the underneath the shoulder pads there, grab.
McCollum stays in the game as Washington gets a new set of downs after the 5-yard flag. The confusion in the backfield with Eckler and Jeremy McNichols. Now Zacchaeus is the fake. And the run by Daniels inside. More than 5 yards. Only Lamar Jackson, in terms of quarterbacks, had more rushing yards. The rushing yards for Daniels this year set a rookie record. Broke Robert Griffin III's record.
Mike, one of the other adjustments that's already happened in this game is that Antoine Winfield played almost the entire first half in center field and was basically wasted because nobody was throwing the ball down there that far. Now he's been up around the line of scrimmage, some man coverage. Yes, he's playing some back, but they are getting him more involved now.
Outstanding season last year, missed half of this year with injury. Second down, Daniels, deep drop. McLaurin is crossing. A slide, untouched, got up, cost him a couple of yards. The Mark McLaurin at the 42-yard line. A first down gain of 17 for 17. And Dean is shaken up. Big moment there.
You're going to see the crisscross in here, and so the pick was just enough. I don't know what happened to Dean there.
Athletic training staff out to look at the top corner for the Buccaneers. Coming out of the game under his own power. 4 DBs in. First and 10, Washington. It's a swing out. Robinson, open field, is stopped for the moment by David. It still goes for a couple more yards. Melissa, what about Jamel Dean?
Yeah, well, we saw him limp off the field. He went right into the medical tent. The exam on the field was on that left knee. Remember, he was questionable coming in because of that same knee. Missed week 18. He is now questionable again to return.
Such a big part of what they do in the back end. Josh Hayes has come in for him, who started last week, the game Melissa just talked about when Dean was out.
But there's Jamel Dean covering their best, in this case, Terry McLaurin, and then there's everybody else.
On the top, second and 5, Daniels throwing that way, going that way, and there goes McLaurin inside the 15 to the 11-yard line. That's 26, Washington in the red zone, but wait a minute, there's a flag down on the far side of the field at the 32.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense, number 71. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Part of the world when you live with zone reads. Andrew Wiley called there.
Ouch. Veteran player, and you'll see it. He'll end up down the field, not just a little bit, but the RPO is a run play. You could have Jaden Daniels handing that football off, and Wiley was blocking the run play and pulled it back and hit a rocket down the middle of the field.
Problem for the Bucs. Zion McCollum, their other corner, just came out. Both backup corners on the field. Alameda Zacchaeus through the traffic to the 38-yard line there as he's knocked down by Vita Vea. So both corners, the starters, Dean and McCollum, out for the moment for Tampa.
And Mike, now it's decision time, really, for the Tampa Bay Bucs and Todd Bowles. If you don't have the coverage guys to play man-to-man, do you now try to go after Jaden Daniels to try and lighten the burden on that back-end secondary?
Tyreek Funderburk is in. He hasn't played a defensive snap in the last 7 games.
But we saw him in practice make 3 interceptions in one day.
3rd and 5, pressure's coming. Daniels throws underneath for Ertz. Incomplete. A lot of traffic inside. Anthony Nelson, part of the defensive effort. Let's see what Washington's going to do on 4th down here.
And that's exactly what Todd Bowles did. He said, all right, we may not be able to cover them, but we're going to start blitzing people and make them make plays down the field in a hurry. Because we have seen that Jaden Daniels, his outstanding quarterback record drops quite a bit when he's under pressure.
Field goal from here is 56 into a little breeze at the very edge of Gonzalez's range. Therefore, Quinn will line up to go for it. Play clock running down. Daniels firing, caught for the first down. It's Ertz inside the 25. And Jaden Daniels, as he has all season, comes up big on 4th down.
And what happens there is Levante David had to spy because they were expecting the quarterback run, and they missed that opportunity.
Scrambling for coverage. Inside they run. Eckler inside the 20. Flying David makes the tackle at the 19. Final minute of this third quarter.
Just makes such a difference when they get Eckler in the lineup. And Jamel Dean just can't overstate how significant he is to the defense. He's the guy that can play man coverage and help everywhere else.
False start, Washington. Diaby needs to be separated from Tyler Biotish, the center.
False start. Offense, number 86. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's on Ertz.
And Mike, I'm thinking of Dan Quinn and what he told us. This all feels a little crazy, right? Just hurry up, and it feels a little crazy. What did Dan Quinn tell us? We do good and crazy. Yeah. I think he's thinking crazy right now. I think he wants to be as frenetic. They're hurting in the defensive backfield. Let's see if they know how to make those calls quickly, and he's playing crazy right now.
We can't quote him directly. If on Peacock only, we could, but we can't here. 2nd and 11. Inside run, Eckler got away from one tackle, not the second. Oh, what a play by David. Levante David, the longest tenured Buck. 100 tackles again this year. Big one there. Fourth quarter begins, 3rd and 10. Daniels, end zone shot. Brown brought down, flag in the end zone. Tackled by McCollum, who just returned to the game. And now the two officials have a conversation in the end zone. There are 2 flags down.
Was it tangled feet, or did he grab him with that right arm?
Nope, they say pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 27. That foul occurred in the end zone. The ball placed on the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
So McCollum came back. He was being evaluated for a concussion. That's his first play back. Jamel Dean's out for the rest of the game.
Yep, good call.
So 1st and goal, Washington. This just their 2nd drive of the second half.
Hey, Dallas!
Tampa has not allowed a touchdown in the second half in their last 5 games. Daniels on the run, in trouble, incomplete. Intended for John Bates, the tight end.
You know, this is an interesting decision by Jaden Daniels. I thought when he first came out here, he was going to have an opportunity to make that throw. He hesitated for a second. With Bates that open, that's sort of one you need to throw. And then by the time he kept going, the angles changed, and Levante David caught up. It's the 2nd time he's been caught by David.
Brian Robinson in the back. He's got it, and he gets engulfed. Still powered forward, but the whistle blew with forward progress. Back around the 4, Kalijah Cansey. Wow.
That is the quickness that we have been seeing out of Cansey. Watch this quick first move down to the inside, completely avoids the block of Wiley, and gives this defense a chance.
It's been incredible the last 5 games. 9 points allowed in the second half. Total. Trying to keep another team out of the end zone. Daniels, 3rd down. Underneath, broken up by Deion Jones. The former Falcon who played for Dan Quinn, against Dan Quinn's team. And now what will Dan Quinn do? Gonna go for it here on 4th down.
Deion Jones making that play was specifically put in the lineup to try and match the speed of Jaden Daniels, one of the better cover linebackers, and he made a huge one there.
Instead of making it a 1-point game, Washington to go for it on 4th and goal. Five in the pattern. Daniels, end zone, incomplete, no flag, and the Buccaneers have stopped the Commanders.
The key play at the end, the question is, was this interference? With the ball in the air, arms wrapped around, and we have a professional Mr. Terry McCauley, you tell me.
Chris, it is a foul for defensive pass interference. He's not playing the ball. He wraps him up, cuts off his path. It should have been called.
Bucky Irving on the run for 4 to the 8-yard line. The pass interference that was called in the end zone on Zion McCollum may have been a difference maker, because instead of giving up a touchdown there, it's 1st and goal from the 1, and Tampa's defense again comes up big in the second half.
And it's a pretty remarkable run they've been on in the second half of these games. But championship teams and championship players, remember Levante David, he's been around, has some Super Bowl rings, so don't be stunned.
Second and 6. It's just the second drive of the second half from Mayfield to the Buccaneers. Irving, nowhere to go. On the backside again. They get over there. Jalen Holmes, 7th-year man out of Ohio State, comes up with the knockdown. It's 3rd down as Washington tries to force a quick 3 and out and get good field position.
Well, this is exactly where we saw Baker take off and run. I guarantee you they're saying that amongst that defensive line community here. It may be less important for them to actually get pressure as to just squeeze him and make sure he does not get out.
Mike Evans in the slot. Mikey Sanders still over there with him. Mayfield looking that way, throwing that way. Evans has got it, and he stretched for the 1st down. Vintage Mike Evans.
Oh, he had to keep every body part off the ground. Did he do it? He certainly did. What a brilliant play by a veteran. How do you go 11 straight years with 1,000 yards? You're a smart guy.
Todd Bowles said last month, guaranteed Hall of Famer. Guy's got 105 touchdowns, 9th all-time in NFL history in terms of shooting. Oh, the ball's down! Mayfield lost it, and Washington pulled it away!
Let's go!
And it's Bobby Wagner, the captain, as Jalen McMillan and Baker Mayfield mess up the exchange.
It's all about the snap count. Is it there in time? Do you have time? That timing of that play is so important, and he just could not get it there.
Fumbling has been a problem for Mayfield this year. He's credited with that fumble, the last to possess the ball, tied for the most in the league. The first turnover of the game puts Washington right in the red zone with a chance to take the lead.
And your defense just made a brilliant stand, right? They just made a brilliant stand, and offensively, you throw them right back in the same spot they were in before, and Baker is just steaming. That is a routine handoff play that got botched.
By far, best field position of the night for either team. Terry McLaurin at the top of the screen against the backup, Josh Haynes. And we get a whistle here and a timeout taken.
Washington. It's a 30-second timeout.
So Washington has to use a timeout there before the start of the drive.
One of the reasons this play is so effective is you get the ball to a speedster like McMillan, and so he can outrun everybody to the edge. But man, if you are a half tick off on the snap count, and who knows what happened, was Graham Barton on time? Was the snap a little bit slow? Was McMillan there too soon? Nobody will ever know except the guys involved.
Watch the reaction on the sideline. Look at Baker looking up, taking the responsibility.
I wonder if that was a handoff or he was trying to fake it and run some naked out around the outside. That's why it would be his bad if it was a fake.
They fake it to Zacchaeus. Daniels pulls it and gets nothing. Logan Hall was the finisher, but Kalijah Clancy got it started for Tampa Bay.
Baker Mayfield is sitting over there just hoping, just hold them to a field goal, good enough, but talking about star players in this game, Elijah Cansey has been outstanding. He is a star in the making here.
Zach Ertz outside at the start here at the top of the screen, 2nd and 10. He drops inside. Daniels going into the traffic. De'Ami Brown to the 8 is where the market, gain of 5. 3rd down coming up. What determines big playoff games? Turnovers and red zone. Well, in the red zone tonight, Washington has gotten down there a couple of times and turned it over on downs in addition to their scores. Can they use the one turnover, turn it into a touchdown to go ahead?
And they've switched how they're playing defense. No more do we see man coverage. They've been playing a lot of zone down here. May even just rush 3 on this one and drop out and play 8 in coverage.
Eckler the back, 5 in the pattern. Daniels about to get hit. Finds Eckler, and here's another decision. Too short of the first down at the 5-yard line. Let's see, did that ball come out? Does that ball come out? There's no whistle, and Tampa's pointing in that direction. Now it's whistled. Greg Rolstad, the referee, says it's 4th down.
I mean, the interesting part was Eckler landing on a defender, but was forward progress
The receiver
stopped.
is ruled down by forward progress.
So even though that ball may have come out, the whistle had blown there, and they stripped it out as he was going backwards. Terry, is that close?
Yeah, that's correct, Chris. If they rule forward progress, it's over, not reviewable. 4th down, Washington.
See Eckler's hands on it, Winfield's body underneath and pulling at it, and Washington's going to go for it again on 4th down. Stopped twice on 4th down in this game, including the last drive. 4th and 2 here. Daniels going end zone, touchdown! Washington takes the lead with Terry McLaurin.
They're still in their zone defenses here, but it's sort of man coverage with, like a box and one almost on the outside when McLaurin gets a little contact there, clears it. And what a football game we have here tonight. 2 proud franchises who've just been great all year, going toe to toe. And for Baker Mayfield, that was a tough, tough fumble.
Every play so important. Gonzalez, extra point, knocks it through. For the Commanders, Jason Light, decade GM for the Buccaneers, have both done a great job of building these teams that are involved in a good playoff game. 20-17. Kickoff return. Rashad White to the left, to the 25, and no more. To Melissa Stark.
Mike, Washington has been in close games all season, and head coach Dan Quinn told us he is glad that they happened in the regular season because this team fights and knows how to win them. He has been down here making sure they remember that, firing them up. He told the defense this is an all-night fight. They went out, got the turnover, then he said to the offense, our time is coming right back up. They got the ball, and they punched it in.
And benefit of a lot of situational practice that Washington team does to be ready for moments, sudden change moments like that. Mayfield trying to atone from the 25, middle of the field. There goes McMillan. They connect for 26 yards. One snap after the turnover and quickly bring it to Commanders territory.
Nice job by Baker Mayfield, faking the quick screen out to the right and then finding the open space right in here in the middle. Watch Baker, he's gonna flip it out to the outside with a quick screen, and that opened up the space in the middle.
Longest play of the game for the Buccaneers. Bucky Irving left with a stiff arm and strength. Hit by Jeremy Chin, flying in from the secondary as the pushing and blocking continues. And everybody on edge here inside a 9 to go. Gain of about 6 for Irving.
So interesting. Now, he's not Derrick Henry, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a guy who weighs about 200 pounds. And when he was brought here in the beginning of the year, they thought he was going to be like a gimmick guy. Jet sweeps, a couple of screens, whatever the case may be. and he simply has won the job. And now here comes the real battle between these two leaders, their respective sides.
Mayfield pulls it, tries to turn the corner. Frankie Luvu brings him down. No flag. Mayfield looking for a call, saying it was up by the face mask. Let's see. No, that's very legal. Everything about that is legal. Not on the nameplate, not inside the shoulder pad. No grab and twist. Nothing.
And the other part of this is that defensively now, the Commanders have been told by Joe Witt and others, you tackle that guy like he's a fullback. You don't go in and treat him like a quarterback. Treat him like a fullback and hit him.
Play clock running down. Mayfield off in time to Otten. Cade Otten, first down and more to the 21-yard line. 20 on the play.
Impressive play here by a guy with a bad knee. He's been out a few games with a knee, come right down to his knee, and he stiff arms him away and carries on. Nicely done. Big time play by Cade Otten. And the one thing that Baker Mayfield was very happy about was that Otten was back in the lineup.
One spot.
Irving left has space. Turns on the Jets. Then trying to cut it back inside. He's going to gain 9. Lattimore shuts him down along with Michael Walker. They finally fire the cannon as the Bucs get into the red zone.
Here's that counter I've been talking about. Two offensive linemen pulling in front, little stagger step, back across, and then it's the speed of Irving that has made that play work. That has really become the bread and butter of this offense, at least for the running game.
Gain of 9. Mayfield has completed 10 passes in a row. Irving doing a good job on the ground in the second half. Baker follows him. Wagner shuts him down. Bobby Wagner playing in a playoff game again here tonight. He's grabbing his left leg here as well. Moment, slow to get up. He's the leader of that defense inside for Washington. 13th year in the league. Tomorrow he starts his second semester of his MBA at Howard.
First semester, straight A's.
11 times part of the All-Pro team. Third in inches.
We're good. Hey, hold on. 4.
Movement inside. Irving brought down. Timing definitely not right there. It's going to be a field goal attempt with no flag.
Completely screwed up the snap count there. Completely screwed it up. There was a snap, you could see Barton snapped it, and nobody was moving, so you assume it's on Barton.
We're good. Hey, hold on. 4.
Graham Barton, the rookie center. So it's 4th down. No neutral zone infraction. Field goal attempt to tie the game from McLaughlin, 32 yards. And he knocks it through.
Official term, right? A do-over.
I'm probably not right in the exact word out of the rule book, but
I think it is.
Terry?
Maybe not those exact words,
Thanks.
but it is a do-over.
Thanks.
You're correct.
I didn't want to tell him he was wrong, but that's fine. It's okay. So they'll replay the play. And here is Browning to kick. And it's still a touchback. Chris, so do it over. It's still a touchback. Washington to take over at their own 30. Tie game. Jaden Daniels sideline fire is caught. Gain of 5 for McLaurin in front of Josh Hayes. In for Jamel Dean, who's out for the rest of the game.
And the one thing that we do know about Jaden Daniels is that he gets better in the 2-minute offense and in the 4th quarter. This guy has been a dominant player, which is why every coach that plays against him says there's nothing about him that resembles a rookie. This is when those guys make mistakes. This is when he has been better.
Poise under pressure. 4 minutes to go. Brian Robinson. Nowhere to go. Antoine Winfield Jr. from the secondary joins Yaya Diaby. And third and about a half dozen coming up for Washington.
Well, here's the reason you have a Vita Vea on your team. Watch the way he destroys this play. Gets up the field, off the double team. They're trying to get to the edge. He's trying to cut back. Neither were available because Vita Vea took up all that space.
Have to get to the 40-yard line. Green just 3. Daniels throwing in the middle. It's caught for the first down. What a night it has been for Dyami Brown to the 45-yard line. A gain of 21. The best night of his career.
Double spy on that play. How much were they worried about Jaden Daniels? Watch this. 2 players in here to simply play Jaden Daniels in case he runs the football. That's the power of a player like Jaden Daniels.
And some throw, too, with Brown trailing it as it was cleared out. 5 catches, 89 yards for the 4th-year man out of North Carolina. The end of his rookie deal. He is putting up a night to talk about. So is Daniels. 2.5 to go. Eckler inside. No gain. Logan Hall and Anthony Nelson there. Washington only about a dozen yards away from comfortable field goal range for Gonzalez, a team that has been in so many late game situations and closed with victories.
I tell you, they're playing this right, though. You want to take this down to the 2-minute warning. You have plenty of time to do anything you want to do on offense. Best case scenario ends with a touchdown or a kick for you.
Game. Timeouts. Washington with 2. Tampa with 3. Washington maybe 10 or 12 yards from the Gonzalez field goal range. Buccaneers full bucket of timeouts. 2nd and 10 for Daniels. The rookie will flip it out over Diaby and caught by Eckler into field goal range. Eckler to the 27-yard line. Oh, that was so close to Diaby, but it's a gain of 18.
Yaya Diaby, give him credit. He saw the late receiver coming across the field, but there he is, Austin Eckler. They felt like that he was going to be in many ways the key to the game, and in the biggest moment, he was.
Timeout, Tampa Bay, Chris. We were talking in the break. When are they going to take them? Take the first one here. 1:41 to go. Another tight late moment. Washington finds itself in. Field goal from here is 45 yards. Movement up front. Inside run. Eckler to the 20-yard line. Taken down by Levante David. Clock running. Tampa not taking its time out here. 1:27 to go.
Right now, Tampa has a problem. They convert this first down, and this time is going to get very low. Commanders at this point, they're perfectly willing. They're running out the clock. That's what they're trying to do here.
Tampa's let it run all the way down here. Washington bleeding it inside of a minute. Eckler is the back. He's got it thrown down after a gain of a yard by Logan Hall, and Tampa takes a timeout. 54 seconds remaining. 3rd and a yard coming up. As 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks in the huddle. Crazy.
I remember when you used to put fullbacks in the
Right,
game.
right. They did this once in the first half. Mariota under center. Daniels is the man in motion. They did it with a sneak last time. Daniels in motion again. Couple of hard count tries and a timeout taken by Washington. So just trying to get the free 5. They don't. So it'll still be 3rd and 1. Each team down to 1 timeout left.
And I don't know who Jaden Daniels is talking to, but there's quite the conversation going on between Daniels and the Bucs defense. I'm sure something along the line Take that high school stuff back with you when you leave.
Well, Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez, Russell Wilson are the three rookies who have won a road playoff game in the NFL, and two of them, Flacco and Sanchez, did it a couple of times in their rookie year. But you see a little bit why Daniels, the talent, but the poise. 55 college starts, big-time games, moment not too big for him, and it's a massive moment. 30-yard.
In the pistol formation.
Brian Robinson behind, a fake to him. Daniels escapes and runs for the first down. Elijah Cansey, all he could do was grab a towel. He couldn't grab Daniels. Washington can bleed the clock, kick a field goal, and win the game.
So frustrating. So frustrating. Elijah Cansey, who has been so good tonight, had this play made. If he makes it, forces the field goal now, gives the ball back to Baker in the offense, and just a stiff arm from Jaden Daniels, just enough.
And Levante David at the back end of that play got rolled up on and is injured, forcing Tampa to take its final timeout. And you hear some of the Washington fans who are here. He's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, not MVP, but who knows what's in this guy's future. Commanders have it at the 15-yard line with one timeout so they can set it up for their kicker, Gonzalez. Tampa, if they even attempt to run the ball, let them score.
And it comes down to a kicker for Washington, and they have had 4 this year?
Yes, they have. From the 15-yard line, Daniels is going to run, put it on the left hash. Bumped into by his own man in part. It's over at the 19, and now they'll just take the clock down to where they are comfortable for Zane Gonzalez, kicking his 6th game for Washington, his first playoff game. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs have not had the ball in their hands very often in this one.
And if you're wondering, most kickers hit a bit of a draw, and they typically like to be on that left hash, sort of hook it in there. See even extra points lined up over there.
So Washington started the year with Brandon McManus as their kicker. Moved on from him before camp opened, and since training camp they've had 6 different kickers. The 6th is Gonzalez. The first time he's kicking in the NFL since 2021. These now 6 games for Washington, and he's got a chance to get the Commanders a playoff win. And it has been a long time, a long drought between playoff victories. Dan Quinn's team has the opportunity here.
But the execution now has to be perfect. Some teams will leave a little time on the clock in case you bobble the snap, but not here. You get 1 try.
The last time Washington won a wild card game, won a playoff game, was 2005 here. Chance to do it with Gonzalez. From 37 to send Washington to the final 8. The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They doink their